So I decided to do this live today because I wanted to have a little talk about chakras, and also there's a chance if you've got any questions about stuff like that you can ask me any questions. So basically chakras are something that I work with all the time, and it comes up in Reiki as well, and we're working with the chakras, and sometimes you can actually see them in the background, and sometimes it can get a little bit confusing as well about like what's going on in chakras and how do they work and all stuff like that. So I thought if I'd done this little live video, I just kept it dead brief, a little chat about them, told you all about them, and then if anyone's got any questions at the end, then I'm here if anyone wants to ask me any questions about the chakras. So chakra is just translated as a wheel. So our chakras will spin in certain ways depending on if they're in balance, depending on if they're a little bit out of balance, if it's got too much energy, if it hasn't got enough energy, if it's positive, if it's negative, and things like that. So they will spin, but chakra just basically translates as wheel. And we've got hundreds of chakras in the body, but we mainly work with seven main ones. When I'm doing treatments, I will work with 9, so I will work with the 7 main. I'll also work with our soul star, which is above our crown chakra, so it's kind of like more into the universe. But then I'll also work with my earth star as well, which is below the root and obviously back into the earth. So I will work with both of them. So I've put this little thing together in the hope that like it will help just kind of like explain things, and I'll go through each one separately. So at the top of our head we've got our crown chakra, and it's because of the light. So at the top of your head you've got your crown chakra, and as it said, this is like connects to our like spirituality, and it comes down from our soul star as well. So it's where it's our wisdom, it's our spirituality, it's our consciousness, our peace, our enlightenment, our harmony on our divine and who we are. It governs like our hair, our circulation, circadian rhythm, and also our nervous system, and it's where like we get all our thoughts and things like that come from. And you might find that if you maybe suffer with headaches, or if maybe you've been having some nightmares or anything around this area, and you know when people say like, oh, my head's chocker, like I feel like my head's chocker, it'll normally mean that the crown chakra is out as well. If you are a hairdresser, or you know anyone who is, you will be working with people's crown chakras all the time. So it's really important, if you are a hairdresser or you know someone who is, to stay grounded in yourself, because you will be working with people's crown chakras and obviously taking on any energy that they've got there. So that's our crown. So if you ever feel like your head's a bit chocker, or it just feels like it's all over the place and anything like that, this could mean like an imbalance in our crown chakra. We then move down and it's in between our eyebrows. So sometimes known as brow chakra, but also your third eye. And that is like our awareness, it's our intuition, it's our imagination, it's how we dream, it's our understanding. Sometimes people say like they've got a sixth sense about something, and it's the third eye, it's the intuitive nature in you. If you feel intuitive about something, if you've got a feeling about something, it'll normally be the third eye. If the third eye is blocked, it might block our intuition and it might throw us off course a little bit. And this area is also related to like our brain and our eyes and our pituitary glands, can't even get my words out today, and our hormonal regulation. And if this is out, you might find that you're not as intuitive of stuff. Sometimes it can bring headaches and nightmares as well. It can bring on confusion. But the third eye, and that is normally, so the crown chakra is normally like either, can be an amethyst sometimes, but mainly a clear quartz. When we're coming down to our third eye, we're working with like purpley, bluey, violety stones. So you've got like your amethyst, but you've also got your lapis lazuli is also related to our third eye as well. So these are just crystals that you can get to work with certain chakras. We then move down into the throat, and that's obviously a blue crystal, or blue in colour. And our throat, it also governs around about the neck, the ears, the sinus, the thyroid, and the metabolism, because everything's all joined. So if you know someone who maybe gets a lot of sore throats, who's got thyroid problems, who has problems around the ears, around the teeth, the mouth, or anything like this, it could be that the crown chakra is a little bit out, because the chakras will always relate to a physical condition and also anything that emotional that might be going on. And this is our communication. It's how we express ourselves. It's how we express how we feel. It's how we speak to people. It's how we express and talk about what we want to say and like kind of like get stuff off our chest. It's our self-expression. It's our creativity. So sometimes if someone's throat chakra is blocked, to me it might be that there's something that they need to say. They're feeling like they're lost. They haven't got a voice or anything like that. And then you'll get like sore throats and ears might hurt and glands might swell up and stuff like that. So that's just like another indication. We then move down into the centre of our chest, which is our heart chakra, and that's normally represented by a green, but it can also be pink as well. So it's got like the two colours, and that's obviously our love. It's our compassion. It's our connection. It's our forgiveness. It's all to do with the love, and it's not just love for other people and external love. It's self-love. It's how you feel about yourself. It's how much like worth you've got. It's our acceptance. It's our positivity. It's our attitude. It's our balance. Anything to do with love, loving ourselves, loving others. We in our heart chakra. Obviously, it's going to govern our heart, our lungs. Sorry, I got something in my eye. Our immune system. Our blood pressure and our circulation, so physically and emotionally. Sometimes people feel like they've got a tightness in the chest. When people say like the heart broken and things like that, it might just be that the energy in the heart chakra is a little bit out, and that's just a way of you can have crystals that are green or pink to bring some love back in. And as I said, it's not always the external love. It's not finding love from someone else or somewhere else. It's sometimes just about being a bit kinder to ourselves, being a bit more forgiving, and having a bit more compassion for ourselves and for others. And we then move down to kind of like, I want to say like, I always say like just under the rib cage before the belly button. So it's our solar plexus, and that's yellow. And this is our power centre. This is where we get our strength. This is where we get our self-control. This is where our purpose comes from. This is where when people say, like, I've got a fire in my stomach, I've got a fire in my belly, this is the solar plexus firing up. It's a bright yellow. It comes from the sun. You've got like, your citrine crystals are really, really good for that. You've got your yellow jade. Even tiger's eye can sometimes be related, and our solar plexus, it's our power. But sometimes it's like, you know, if you think, I feel like I've got a knot in my stomach, I feel really anxious about something in my stomach, can quite often mean that the solar plexus is out. Digestive problems, anything around the stomach, when we've got like that churning feeling, and that's our power centre. It's our immune system. That's what it governs in that way. So if you have maybe got any stomach problems or anything digestion wise around the bladder, the muscles, it might just be that the solar plexus is a little bit out. We then move down to around our hips, our sacral chakra. So this is governing all of our reproductive organs, our lower abdomen, round into anything to do with our periods, anything to do with the menopause, the cycles, any reproductive organs on both sexes as well. Our blood sugar. I'm really fidgety on it. I'm such a fidget. I get told this all the time. I can't keep still. And this governs our sexuality, our sensuality, our creativity also comes from there, and it can be our emotional centre as well. So if there's emotions going on, it can sometimes have problems. If it's time of the month, sometimes for ladies, you will find that the sacral chakra might be out. Any financial type of problems can sometimes manifest as lower back problems as well, which obviously chakras go all the way around. They're not just on the front of the body, they're also on the back as well, so they can be related. It's our giving and receiving. If it's our letting go, our desires, our sensuality is all based around the sacral chakra. Any relationship issues and things like that, and that's always a bright orange. So it's always, you've got like your carnelian and things like that. They're good crystals to have. And then we move down to the root, and that's on kind of like base of the spine, as you can see there at the very, very bottom. And this is our root. This is our survival, our security. It's our primal instincts. It's the root of who we are. So if you imagine a tree, its roots being like into the ground, that's what we're like. We're rooted down. But when a tree gets pulled up and it's uprooted, that's what sometimes we can feel like. We can feel like we've been pulled up, we've been uprooted. If trauma happens in the life, if we've got fear, if we're worrying about something, if we're doubtful about something, if we feel our survival or our instincts are in trouble, like like many moons ago, when it was the survival of the fight or flight and things like that, the root can be out. If you've had a big upheaval in your life, if there's been a breakdown of some type of any type of thing, if our root is compromised in that way, then that'll be out. And sometimes it can manifest in anything to do with like the feet and the legs and the pelvis, and sometimes it's hard to move forward. The legs might feel heavy, you might have restless legs, it might have trouble like eliminating toxins from the body, going to the toilet, anything like that. But yeah, it's our survival, it's our physical needs, it's our way of being, and that is the root chakra, and that is always represented by red crystals. So you've got like your red jasper or red howlite, but you've also got your black crystals, your protective crystals like your onyx and your hematite and things like that. And then underneath there you've got your earth star, and that's obviously bringing everything together. So all the 7 chakras come through the body. As I said, there's hundreds of chakras, but these are the main ones that we are dealing with, and they are energy. Like, everything is energy. We are energy, just in a physical body. So everything is energy, and that's how chakras are worked with. And in Reiki, hands are placed. Some people do hands over. I do hands on, unless someone requests it not to be. And that's how Reiki works. It's done with energy to balance out the chakras. And every chakra spins a different pace. Every chakra's got different energies to it. It's got different reasons. There'll be different ways that it's out balanced. Everyone's chakras are a little bit different, but they are the main 7. So we've got our crown, our third eye, our throat, our heart, our solar plexus, our sacral, and our root chakra. They are our main 7 that we're dealing with, and they run through the body, front and back of the body. Ways to balance them out yourself. I mean, you can go and get a Reiki treatment, you can get a crystal healing treatment, you can buy crystals that represent each chakra, and you can either just place them on those points and lie there maybe in meditation, or just lie there for 5 minutes and have the crystals placed on you. You can have like a bracelet, a necklace, you can put them in under your pillow. There's loads that you can do with crystals to help enhance the chakras as well. So hopefully that's been useful for everyone who's tuned in. If anyone has got any questions, feel free to pop the questions down now. And if you are watching this on like catch up, like BBC iPlayer or something, if you are watching this on Gen Catch Up and you have still got a question, don't worry, you can pop the question in the comments underneath the video. Feel free to message me at any time if there's anything that you want to know more about, or if there's anything I didn't mention today. But I didn't want it to be too overwhelming, because it can get a bit much, so I just wanted to go through the basics of the chakras. So if anyone's got any questions, feel free to pop them down. I'll do my best to answer them. If the question's a bit personal and you're a bit worried about something, or you're not too sure, feel free to send me a message. And you'll know, people always say, how do you know it? And you just feel out of sorts, you know, and you're just like, I just feel a bit out of sorts. I'm not sick, I haven't got a cold, nothing's really going on. I just feel a bit, I don't know, a bit fuzzy, a bit like not with it. That's when you'll know if your chakras are out. And as I said, you can always get a Reiki treatment for things like that. It helps with sleep, anxiety, physical problems, emotional problems, mental problems, relationship breakups, grief, just to make you. And sometimes it's just, you just need a bit of a top up. Sometimes it's just, you just need. You can also eat food of the same colours of the chakras. You can drink drinks of the same colours of the chakras. You can wear colours. What am I wearing today? I've got like a bit of orange on today and a bit of yellow. So to me, I'd be like, I've picked them before because maybe my solar plexus and my sacral are out a little bit, and I'm trying to boost them up a little bit. And I'm quite like that. When someone comes over, if they're wearing the same colour, I'm terrible. I'm like, oh, and stuff like that. But yeah, so if anyone's got any questions, feel free to ask. If not, I will end the live. And if you are watching it on the replay or on the catch up and you have got any questions, feel free to just pop them in the comments underneath the video, or send me a message at any time, and I am always happy to answer any questions. But hopefully that's been useful. Please let me know if it has. So even if you haven't got a question, and if watching the video has been useful, please let me know, and I will do a post next week as well, just kind of putting a bit more info up of chakras, because I know sometimes the videos only stay up for a little bit. So if no one's got any questions, I'm going to go, and yeah, have an amazing weekend, whatever you do, everyone, and happy Pride, everyone.